Hi, I'm Charity.
And I'm Mary.
And we're going to talk a little bit about lesson planning. So at our summer program, there's a lot of different classes, and instructors kind of teach what they have the most expertise or interest in. And in terms of lesson planning, we have a few weeks beforehand where we kind of do that. And I think the most important thing, because it's high school and college instructors maybe have never written a lesson plan before, is having a goal in mind for each day. Depending on what your camp is, a learning goal that all your activities toward that day are kind of geared towards. And you can still get creative with that, but that way the kids are it's still a fruitful camp for them.
Right, and we try to vary what's going on during the day. So you kind of have a structure, maybe some introductory material, maybe a short YouTube video, something like that. We try to incorporate different games, but also a certain amount of teaching or lesson planning to show them, this is what we want you to learn today. And just try to go back and forth so the kids aren't bored. You always want to have a lot planned for the day, because sometimes you'll have an activity planned and it will take 5 minutes, or sometimes the kids just won't comprehend it, so you want to just try to over-plan what you're going to do for the day. So one of the challenges with the classes is the sports camps, because it's very dependent on the weather, if it's outside, something like soccer or lacrosse. So it's important for the instructors to have a backup plan. So usually we'll reserve some classroom or perhaps part of the gym. If the whole gym's open, that's ideal, but if not, sometimes we'll split the gym between 2 different classes and try to have different things going on, maybe videos from famous sports clips, or do different exercises, stretching, things like that. You're still talking about the sport and talking about athletics, but perhaps you can't play the game because you're short on room.
Another thing that's specific to this camp, why we're doing it, is bringing Christ into the classroom. And the fun thing about it is there's so many ways that you can do that. And the fun thing about this camp is you're teaching a class, maybe it's a sport, maybe it's arts, whatever it is. You can get creative with a way to bring Christ into the classroom. We did skits about fruits of the Holy Spirit, or just talking to the kids about it at all on any free time that you have, because they want to talk to you about it.
Right, yeah, there's always a lot of opportunities, especially to bring up the virtues. For example, in an athletic camp, you could talk about, just showing charity towards the other team, charity towards your own players when they've been injured. Or, for example, I've done a lot of theater classes, and so we like to talk a lot about the virtue of humility and how it's important that when you're on stage, it's not all about you. It's about bringing joy to others, and so we try to encourage them to understand that your gifts are from God, and they're meant to be shared. And so there's a lot of ways we can bring Christ in the classroom. Most classes will begin and end with a prayer, something along those lines. A lot of classes will pick a saint that is relevant to the class, so patron saint of dancers, patron saint of athletes, patron saint of chefs, and try to do a little introductory about that.